You say good morning, YouTube.
Good morning, YouTube. Are we posting it tomorrow? Is that why I'm saying good morning?
No, we'll probably post it tonight. It's sunset.
The evening.
It's
Good
sunset.
night, YouTube.
Good evening.
Yeah, that. There you go, Dad.
We are.
Girls, you're getting yours. Just hold on.
Welcome back
Oh, hello.
to Bear Cave Ranch. Oh, these little ones. So what we have here is 22 chicks. How old are they?
They will be 6 weeks old on Monday.
Yep.
Do they need more water?
Yeah, we'll need to give them some more water.
We'll grab it though when we're finished.
So, this is our chick extravaganza video. We waited until we got them.
Was that Bob or Lisa Bird? That was Bob. Okay. Bob, you need to relax.
We waited till we got them out and living outside to do this.
So that we could give an actual update of how well our stuff was working and
Yeah.
how well our bird raising capabilities are.
Yeah, let's give them some more and then.
need to relax.
So they love cracked corn.
Yes, they do. It's a new treat that they've discovered over the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
They didn't get any before. Well, no, that's not true. I gave them just a little bit when they were in the camper.
Yep. So let's start from day one. How did we get these chicks?
So we did a mail order service on our chicks. We used a website called thechickhatchery.com. We decided to use them because they were the fastest in responding to me and didn't really seem to get annoyed with all the questions that I had, which is very much appreciated when you're new to getting day-old chicks that I had no idea came in the mail. So that was an exciting thing, to say the least. So by the time we got them, they were 3 days old.
Yeah. So we ordered them. Well, hold on. Let's start with the process. We ordered 20.
Yes.
And they sent 22. They sent a couple of extras expecting to have some
guarantee,
loss.
which is a really good thing. You want to have a live guarantee. You want to have a hatchery that will offer a live guarantee.
Yep. So there's details, but like if there was a total loss, if all the chicks were dead, they would just replace it all.
If you had over 10%, then they would refund however many more that died if it wasn't a full shipment or whatever.
Yep. And they had a lot of options that we liked. You could do straight runs or all females, all males, and
you could do specific breeds. We ended up doing the brown egg layer special. So we ended up getting 5 different breeds. We thought to begin with it was only 4. We don't even know what each one is yet for sure. I'm pretty certain we have some Buff Orpingtons.
Yep.
We also have some Barred Plymouth Rocks.
Yep.
And some black Australorps. And then we have some white ones and some brownish reddish colored ones. And I'm not sure what those ones are yet.
They might be Rhode Islands. We're not sure.
They could be. I also believe the white ones might be lavender Buff Orpingtons, but I am not sure.
And there's these. These are really cool.
Yeah, those are the Barred Plymouth Rocks. What?
And we do think one of these might be a rooster.
Yes, she's kind of crazy. The one that we think might be a rooster is actually right over there, and that's because she has a huge comb and wattles already, and none of them do not have that. Even that specific breed, so...
Yeah.
That's why we think that it might be a rooster and not a hen.
Is that a photo?
Yeah.
Yeah, you always expect some. They can't be perfect.
Yeah, they had a 90% guarantee on sexing, and then they'll also do within 60 days, they'll do a refund. If it's more than 10% of your total order ends up being males, they'll do a refund on however many end up being males.
Yeah.
So if we have 3 of them, we'll get a refund of 1, basically, which I think they were like $3 each or something like that. And we opted to do the Merrick's vaccination just because we have older chickens. And we weren't quite sure if our older chickens were vaccinated for Merrick's or not, but discovered that majority of the time Chickens just carry the disease. So if you're going to mix chicks with older chickens, it's just a good idea to vaccinate them.
Yeah.
And then they also do other vaccinations. I can't remember. It's all on their website, though.
Yep. And we'll put a
They have
link.
very good information.
Yeah, we'll put a link to their website because
These
we were
black ones need to chill out.
not endorsed. We weren't asked to do this. This is just our opinion, and we had a good experience and want to share it. Boy, they
Yes.
love that corn.
We
So-
also had an adventure in trying to figure out how to keep them warm because,
Yes.
as you know, we have limited power.
Right.
Our,
Well, hold on.
Oh, we're not there yet.
So
Got
these were
excited.
born on a Monday, and they were shipped on Monday.
Yes.
So they come out. They're not even a day old when they get in the mail, and they box them all up, and they send them out. And we got them on Wednesday.
Yep.
And we found out that apparently the Postal Service
Wednesday morning.
is well aware of this process, and they won't deliver live chicks to a house. What they do is they contact you,
Animals in general.
or live animals, right? So they contact you to come down. So Wednesday morning, early, it was at 30 minutes
They were even
before they even opened. She had to call, and she was down there by the time they opened to pick these things up. All 22 made it through the mail. So that was good. And now our adventure starts in, if you know anything about raising chicks or have heard about it, you need to have brooding lights and this whole process.
So
of
we had
keeping them
raised
warm.
Week-old chicks.
Yep.
The year before,
Yep.
we got them from Zamzows, and we only had 4 of them.
Yeah.
And we had power at a house where we could just run a heating lamp nonstop and not have any like issues or questions about it because they were fine
Mm-hmm.
because the heating lamp was on. But day-old chicks also require more warmth and heat, and we did not have the option to run a 250 watt light bulb. We even tried to get a 50 watt light bulb, and it wasn't warm enough
Right.
to keep them warm. But also, I think we had tested that light bulb specifically to see if
And
our
it
battery...
killed our battery. It
thing-
killed the battery, but before we added the
It
batteries.
killed the battery at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well, we have some extra money. Let's go get a couple of extra batteries, and that should extend our heating abilities. It did not. It didn't extend it. That was also a time that we had some pretty cloudy days, though.
Yep.
Like all together at once. So even then, we still had to plan for keeping chicks warm without the power because we obviously don't have unlimited power. During the day, kind of, we do, but
Yeah.
that's if it's sunny and not cloudy at all. But so then we tried to get some plant warming mats. They're 17 watts each. I plugged in one. We could not run that all night long either. So,
With the fridge and
Yeah,
other
with
stuff
the
that's
fridge
ready.
and-
Yeah.
kind of running the lights for a little bit in the evening and stuff like that. We just didn't have the battery capacity and didn't have enough money to go and buy
Okay,
more
girl.
batteries. So, what we ended up doing was leaving the plant mat in there
Mm-hmm.
in their home, which was this. That
Yep.
was their home when they were little.
Inside the trailer, inside that trailer.
Yep, and then we wrapped the whole thing in blankets. So, guys, don't peck at my toes. So that it would kind of insulate it a little bit more, and we kept the lid on at night and had the holes drilled in the top so that obviously they would have some air and whatnot. And so we had the mat in there to keep it warm, and then we would also set a solar shower out in the sun to warm up during the day so that at night, which is the coldest time here, we would set it in there over the heating mat, and then also turn the mat on to warm the water up a little bit more before we went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we turn everything off. Chicks naturally huddle together when they're cold, so they ended up keeping each other warm, and with the solar shower for the first, I think it was 2 weeks
Yeah.
that we used it every day. So we did that.
And we had a lot of good bedding in there too.
Yes.
You can kind of see it's all over this coop now, but
Yes, we had straw, and then we ended up going to wood chips, like larger wood chips, so that they couldn't eat them or anything like that, or break them easily. But
so the bedding, wrapped it in blankets.
Yep, the bedding, wrapped it in blankets, and then on really cold mornings that we had, like when the sun wasn't out for very long the day before, so the water wasn't super warm when we put them in there basically. We also turned the heat lamp on as soon as the sun came up for about, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes, I think was the longest it ran.
Just to warm it up.
And it was, just long enough to warm it up in there. And then by the time the sun comes up here, I mean, within an hour, it's pretty warm.
Yeah.
We kept the camper completely closed up.
That camper also, the inside walls is like lined with carpet. So it's actually it's way better insulated than the bigger one.
Yeah. So we were able to close it up a little bit more than what we have been with ours and stuff like that. Oh. And so it ended up doing fine and keeping them warm with our limited power, and we didn't have any issues at all. I think if we're going to do chicks again, it's probably not going to be in the spring. It will be in the summer again, and we'll do another day-old order because we don't have the power in order to run something long enough to keep them warm day in and day out.
And I think even if we do, we can use that power for other things.
Yeah.
Instead of that. So that was another key, I think, that we didn't really touch on. We did this in the summertime, not in the spring.
Yes, we got them July 22nd was when they were born.
Yeah.
So,
so the
and then
24th.
we got them the 24th of July. So they were born actually just a day after her birthday.
Yep. So when you
almost share the same birthday.
Most places, if you're out looking for chicks, they only have them in the springtime. And for us here, people don't even put their plants out until well into June because of the nighttime freeze. We're at a very high elevation.
In fact,
so even though
it's mid-June that they put their plants out.
It is. So again, we are in the desert. It's really hot in the summer, but it's a high desert. And we got a very short growing season. So waiting until well into the summertime to get the chicks made that much easier. And Tia's back, by the way.
Hi.
Tia's back from her summer.
Don't mind the hair, but
in Idaho. And she was giving me candy. So yeah, let's I'm gonna walk over. Oh, thank you. And grab this solar shower because it's sitting over here.
Oh yeah, it is. You want to have a solar shower? Yeah, Grandma gave it to us. She got it from the nursery. I know that.
So the solar shower we're talking about, it's just one of these. Of course, it's dusty like everything out here. People use them for camping. You set this out in the sun and it can get really hot. So that was our main source of heat for the chicks. We ordered 20, they sent 22. All 22 made it through the mail. We're at 6 weeks old. And we still have all 22. They're all doing extremely well.
They're all still alive. We haven't had any issues. I think we had 2 that had pasty butt.
Yep.
Which is a thing that you need to watch for with day-old chicks up until they're about 2 weeks old, and then it stops being an issue.
And you basically just got to clean their butts off.
Australorps was one of them, and it was the smallest one, which I don't know which one it is now.
Yep.
And then I believe one of the Buff Orpingtons was another one, because it was like a real fuzzy yellow one.
Yeah.
That ended up having it a couple times, but they did really well. They, took to their feeding and their watering really quickly. There wasn't any issues with that.
Yep.
If you ever are interested in day-old chicks, there is some research that you need to do, just because they require a little bit more attention and like a little bit warmer water to begin with for the first day or so that they don't get hypothermia or anything like that. and
Yeah.
they require constant checking just to make sure they don't have pasty butt. If their vents get covered and they're not able to go poop, then they will die.
Yep.
What's another
Feed, we always use a chick starter feed.
Yes, that one we used medicated because they didn't vaccinate for coccidosis or whatever it's called.
Yep.
So we decided to opt for the medicated feed for them because once again we have other adult chickens and we weren't quite sure.
And the first few weeks you will dump more food than they eat.
Oh, that's a fact.
They make a mess out of everything and you will dump it and refill it constantly. So what we did is use several smaller containers instead of a big one.
Yes.
And actually while they were in this thing, and we had chicken wire over the top too so we could take that off.
Yep.
So they could get cooler.
And then we actually added another tote, a smaller, what are they, like 18-gallon totes?
Yeah, on the
cut the
side.
side on each one and then butted them up to each other so that it would
as they got
provide
bigger,
a little bit more room until we were able to get them outside, which recommendations I think are about 4 weeks old, and I think they were almost 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It was like the weekend before they turned 4 weeks old
Yeah.
that we had them outside. And they started in that
yeah, we had them all in the
that
little
coop
thing.
with the green roofs. We closed it off. The roosters were in here, all 4 of them. And we put some chicken wire there to block them so that they couldn't get to the chicks.
Yep.
And then just this week, in fact, 3 days ago,
Yeah.
2 days ago,
3.
something like that, we put 2 roosters in here because we only have 8 laying hens. So we didn't want to put too many in there with them and overload it or have, you know, some major fights or anything like that.
Yep.
And then 2 stayed in here for about a week.
Yep.
And then just a few days ago, I traded the roosters, put them in the smaller one, so there's only 2 roosters in there. And then moved the chicks in here. They seem to be enjoying their space a lot more and able to spread their wings, obviously.
Yep.
They get a little brazen and then they start running all crazy and looking like they're trying to take flight.
Yep. So keep their food and water clean. Give them plenty of room. That's the thing, is as they've grown fast. So
yes, as you can tell, or again, they're only about they'll be 6 weeks on Monday, but they're pretty big.
Yeah.
I think at 8 weeks is when you are able to put them in with other adult chickens. I've read quite a few things though about sometimes roosters going after young hens, and that kind of concerns me. We don't want to lose them due to over advantageous roosters.
A little eager.
Yeah, there we go, over eager. So I think we're just gonna end up leaving them this way until they're old enough to kind of take the roosters and
then
go from there.
we'll merge them all together.
Yeah.
And another
Into the
thing,
larger coop.
another thing we do with our chicks, we did it with the 4 that we raised last
sunset.
year. Oh man,
Colors.
it's awesome. The 4 we did last year and these 22. And this really shows a difference. We handled them a lot. We picked them up, we played with them, and you can see they don't run away from us. When you come walking out, a lot of times they will, at least some of them will walk up thinking we're going to drop some corn for them or something.
The majority of them will.
And those 2 roosters there are ones we just got. And they're starting to roost for the night, so this may not happen, but normally about this time, they're all at the fence already because they're expecting us to get something. Now that's the chickens that we brought with us. There are 3 newer ones.
Plus the roosters. So 5.
Yeah, plus the roosters, but 3 newer hens in here, a Rhode Island and these 2 white ones right there, that were not raised by us, and they run away.
They are very skittish.
Very skittish, and in fact, the lady, when we went to pick them up, she didn't even know how to get the chickens.
The roosters are just now coming around, and they'll let us get close to them, but I think it's just because of their feathered head.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really anything else. The The couple of white ones, though, the white Australorps,
Yeah.
they're getting a little bit more curious and they're coming closer.
Yeah, they're
now.
starting to.
But
So the
Rhode
way
Island Red, she's gone. She disappears as soon
Yeah.
as we come anywhere
She was
near
the hardest
coop.
one to catch too.
She was crazy.
Yeah, she was.
She was a crazy one.
Yeah, so the way you raise them from the beginning really does matter. I mean, we found that with the goats too. Our first goat, Karen, who we got from the same lady who got these chickens, but she actually interacted with the goats, and she's friendly and sweet and still is. The other two, that lady, she didn't feed them very well. She didn't handle them very well. And
they're very skittish.
they're very skittish. They're just now starting to not run away as much and try to come up to us a little bit. And I'm thinking, I mean, if you're raising goats for milk, you want them to...
You don't want them to be stressed out. I mean, that...
Yeah. It affects their production, but also your ability to milk them. I mean, if you got to grab them by their front legs and drag them across their pen, that's not good. And that's what that other lady was doing. So care for your animals starting from day one as soon as you can. Interact with them, give them treats, be a friend. Even, I've heard a lot of people say, hey, if you're just going to sell an animal, you don't want to get attached. Look, I'm attached to food. My animals provide for us in any way, so, you know, I'm okay with that. But I do want things to be easier and their time with us to be good. So anyway, that was our chick adventure. A little bit of a longer video, sorry about that, but there's a lot of information with the chicks, and it's our first time doing this many and with limited power, but there are some ways to definitely do that, and it's been good. And we've got 22 healthy, what we think these should all be hens. There might be one rooster, and we also have roosters because we can start breeding them later on, or start doing some breeding, which would be good. It's an extra little income stream then. So everybody out there, be good to each other. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Please share videos that you know, can really help kind of spread our message. And we're not monetized, we're not advertising, we're not endorsing anything. So there's no money in here. This is really just us wanting to share it with everybody. And hopefully that... What? What? Yeah, we're not getting shit for doing any reviews. But we like doing them because we have good things and mistakes and everything else happen, and we can share that with you guys, and hopefully you guys can have a better experience. And share your own experience with us. We'd love to hear from you. Check us out on our Facebook page. I'll put a link for that down in the description as well. Sun is pretty well gone, so I got time for a quick little nighttime ride on the dirt bike, and we will talk to you next time.